The subject of today's video, Andrew Tate. He got charged for human trafficking and essentially every other crime that you would expect a human trafficker to commit. And for some reason, he is controversial. I found his chess.com account, and as you can see, a lot of other people did. Now, how do I know that this is his chess.com account? First of all, last online 23 days ago. When was his arrest in Miami? July 18th. What date is it now? August 11th. July 18th, so there's 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, 22, 23, 24 days. So today it would be 24 days ago since he got arrested. Last online, 23 days ago. Could be like 23 days and 8 hours, right? So this matches up. Also, it suspiciously matched up every time he got arrested. So what does the timeline actually look like? At the start, we'd have December 29th, 2022. And at this date, they got arrested. So they were brought into police custody. And this lasted until about March 3rd, 2023. Then they were essentially free men for a while. So for this period of time, they were in police custody. Then July 18th, 2026. Here we have the arrest in Miami. And this goes on until today. Now, if you compare this to the activity on their chess.com account, their last chess game for a while was played on December 28th, 2022. Then they had a quiet period until, you guessed it, April 4th, 2023. That lined up suspiciously well compared to when they were in police custody. And even nowadays we notice they essentially played all throughout July, and then from July 18th onwards they've been very inactive. What else do we know? The War Room. Essentially a chess.com club for people who paid him money. If I try to join it myself, no, this is a private club, so there we go. And if I look at the super admins over here, look who we have. Playing to win. The exact same account. And if I look at the internet archive of this account, the account has been active since 2015. However, this name only existed since like 2023, meaning he changed his name a lot, which we know to be true from the countless people stalking him online. Like, these were some of his former account names. We're gonna look at some games from his accounts in just a second. First, I want to look at a clip where he played over the board chess against Piers Morgan. And today destroys Piers Morgan in chess match. By the way, if something has uncensored in the title, it's either adult content or it's someone complaining about being deplatformed on a huge platform.
Father was an American chess international master, and his son's pretty good at it too.
This will be constantly brought up. His dad was an IM. This is true. That doesn't tell much about his son's skill.
And with 5 minutes left on the program, we're going to have a game of speed chess. Winner takes all. All right, well, you're white, off you go.
Andrew Tate starts with pawn to d4. And if we look at his online account over here, yup, he also plays pawn to d4. Piers responds with d5.
Are you good, Piers?
Spoiler alert, he isn't. And Andrew Tate plays the Queen's Gambit.
Clearly from this opening, better than you.
We're 2 moves in. Guys, calm down.
Okay.
Just the main line. And then Piers Morgan responded with grabbing his queen's knight. And that's a very typical amateur mistake, knight to c6. The main way that black can break the position open and get rid of the slightly more passive position is by playing the c-pawn. By playing knight to c6, you're just making that harder for yourself. What these two guys so far have taught me about masculinity is to brag about your accomplishments as a substitute for being actually competent. I would already not estimate his elo anywhere above 1000 on chess.com. Andrew Tate develops dark square bishop. Generally, we would say knights before bishops, because we know this knight will go to f3, this bishop might go to g5. Now, the next moves are all pretty standard, so I have nothing to say about it, but then something interesting happens. I mean, here on a4, the queen can just be attacked. But other reasons why it's bad, we're not creating any threats, this bishop here is defended, and we're handing a pawn.
Time to get aggressive with you, Mr. Tate.
Piers Morgan thinks that making his lady to all the work is the equivalent of masculine aggression, while in reality it's the chess equivalent of throwing a hissy fit. And he spots the hand in pawn.
Oops. Apologize.
Andrew Tate fumbling the pieces as much as he fumbled his own personal freedom.
Why do you think the queen gets to jump across the board and the king doesn't?
Probably because the game would be really boring if the objective can also teleport across the board.
Because it's sexist.
Or because it's sexist. Sure thing, you snowflake.
The game of chess is sexist, but perhaps it reflects life, Piers. Haven't you ever thought that when you look at a yacht in Dubai...
You're running out of time.
And here Piers Morgan simply castled, which hands the queen.
Stop stalling. I know what you're
Fine,
doing.
I'll just take a...
Oh, God!
See, when I grew up, I was taught to accept when I lose and learn from it, and not cry like a baby. So yeah, anyway, they lost. So Andrew Tate, certainly more competent than Piers Morgan, although that only really tells me his elo should be above 600. It's about 1000 rapid, although he mostly plays splits where he has a rating of about 1700. Which I mean isn't bad. If you're yourself at the splits rating, you shouldn't feel bad. But for someone whose dad is an international master and who's been playing pretty actively since 2015, honestly, low testosterone, maybe low IQ, one of those two, maybe both. So yeah, let's just look at the last game he played. So Andrew Tate here played with the black pieces and he played the purge defense. And if you think that opening is very timid and shy, it's just a sign of things to come really. And his opponent decided to put the pawns on c3 and f3, just completely removing two very natural development squares from their knights. The game went on and the opponent played bishop f4. Now to me, and I can turn the engine on for you, this immediately signals we should play for e5, so we should here play knight b d7, where after any arbitrary move e5, here you're essentially forced to move your bishop again. Instead we play c5, a little bit nonsensical, but even worse is d5. Now after knight b d7, we just simply weaken too many central squares. The bishop drops back, which again, just completely surrenders the square. After bishop e3 though, Andrew Tate played a6, which is a very beta, low testosterone move. So far what we've seen from this exchange is that neither player really understands any level of chess strategy, which is perfectly in character with Andrew Tate, to be honest. You should really play knight e5, which creates an active threat. The bishop moved back, knight c4. But instead we play a6, presumably because we're scared, on c4, which does nothing, and here we play e5, which is the most scaredy cat move I've ever seen. Now, even without thinking, I'd play the move pawn to b5. Him not playing it makes me think that if he is an alpha male, then I'm an overly hormonal elephant with too much testosterone. Instead he played e5, which is the most beta move imaginable. Knight e2, knight back to e8. If we see the way someone plays chess as a reflection on their personality, then Andrew Tate is the most beta specimen of a human being that I've ever met in my life. Presumably to prevent black from playing f5, it makes some sense. Queen h4 does not make sense. We can just drop back, and why did the queen go here? Queen f6. It only creates one threat, which white promptly ignores. It really leaves me to wonder why not just defend the pawn. Instead we play h4 because we're deranged, and then rather than, you know, move the rook, we blundered that as well. Very good. Now keep in mind, Andrew Tate somehow managed to lose this chess game. I don't know what that says about him, to be honest. Let's figure out exactly what this means about him by following his own personal tenets of Tateism. He even has a knight in his logo, even though he barely can play chess. Tenet 1. I believe that men have to define a period of because capable, powerful combat as possible in his life. You certainly did not do that. You suck at chess. Even despite the fact that you've intrinsically linked it to your branding. I reserve the human right to hold my own beliefs and practice them as I see fit. And why do you play chess like such an absolute beta? Then at 9, I utterly disapprove of violence. Makes sense. You play chess like a beta. Then at 10, I support good and honest governments and will obey only their laws. That's probably why you got imprisoned, eh? Then at 14, I believe men are personally responsible for the action and for the results they achieve in their lives. Then why did you link your own chess ability solely based on your daddy's success rather than your own merit? Again, a chess piece in his logo. Then at 16, I believe that men have the sacred duty to approach everything in life from a position of strength. And why do you play like such a beta? Then at 19, I seek to improve my personal freedom while you utterly failed at that one, buddy. Then at 22, I believe that I have the sacred duty to only eat the highest quality foods possible. Hard to do that from prison, eh? Then at 29, I believe in honoring my ancestors and living in a way that would make them most proud of me today. Your dad is an IM and you hardly know how the pieces move. Then at 36, I choose to only interact with those who are respectful and civil. You're a criminal. Then at 37, I reserve the freedom to speak. No longer. Then at 38, I reserve the right to choose my company. Haha, not anymore. And 10 at 41, each day I dedicate myself anew to create the greatest possible positive impact in the world. You did sex trafficking. Brag about the things you would do and then don't follow through at all. Andrew Tate masculinity, everyone. Actually a funny decision not to just trade the queens in this position. Instead we go backwards. Now the smartest move I've ever seen in my life, knight takes d5. Does this do anything? Not really. The only thing I'd be scared of in this position is that after queen f4, queen h3, which apparently was played, this queen is almost trapped. It really only has these two squares. So of course we play e4, which I mean just blunders the queen. Okay, we got really lucky that this rook was heading, but I'm sure Andrew Tate did not see that before he played this. And if he did see all of this before it, I don't know why he even bothered blundering his queen. Why he decided that the best way to go forward is just give the knight up for no reason. Again, Andrew Tate managed to lose this game somehow. I'm still very surprised at how that happened. If nothing else, we're blundering the bishop. Oh, it's apparently equal. So we're threatening mate in 1. And if rook e8, there's queen d6. Very poor decision making. Queen e7 makes no sense and we can just take a free bishop. And this move blunders checkmate. Just very simple. Honestly, I don't know how you can miss this. Andrew Tate managed to somehow hand Made in 3 despite being up 7 points of material. That is honestly more impressive than his entire media empire. And now we lose all our material and we somehow lose on time. Fantastic, Andrew. Good job.